right. So let's dive into something super relevant, I think, for anybody who's looking to make their mark in the professional world, the CV.
Yes.
We're going to go deep on what it is, how it differs from a resume, and why it can really be your secret weapon in the job application process.
Yes.
Our source material today is a really interesting article from Rezoom titled, "What Does CV Stand For and Its Importance in Job Applications?"
Right.
Oh, and the concept of a CV goes way back,
Uh-huh.
like Leonardo da Vinci. Back we're
Yeah.
talking 15th century.
It's true.
Wow.
Da Vinci really understood the power of presenting his skills and accomplishments effectively.
Yeah.
He sent a letter to the Duke of Milan in 1482, basically laying out everything he could do.
Oh, wow.
You can almost think of it as like his version of a CV.
So even back then, people needed to showcase their expertise.
Absolutely.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
But before we get lost in history,
Right.
let's break down the basics.
Okay.
The article says CV stands for Curriculum Vitae, Latin for Course of Life. But what does that actually mean for you?
You know, think of it this way. A CV is like a detailed map of your entire professional journey.
Okay.
It's much more comprehensive than a resume, which is really just a snapshot of your recent experience.
Right.
A CV digs deeper, highlighting your education achievements, publications, research, really the whole story of your career.
So it's less about a quick summary
Yeah.
and more about painting a full picture.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
The article had this handy table comparing CVs and resumes.
Yeah.
And one thing that jumped out was how CVs are more common in academia and international job markets, while resumes are the go-to for corporate gigs, especially in the U.S.
That's spot on.
Okay.
And it makes sense when you consider the different audiences and expectations.
Right.
In academia, for example, your research and publications are crucial.
Yeah.
So a CV lets you showcase all of that in detail. But, you know, in a fast-paced corporate environment, hiring managers might just want a quick overview of your recent experience.
Yeah.
Hence the resume.
Okay, so different tools for different jobs.
Exactly.
The article mentions that Leonardo da Vinci's letter to the Duke of Milan was essentially an early form of a CV.
Right.
It's amazing to think that this need to market yourself effectively has been around for centuries.
That's right.
Wow.
And while the format and methods have evolved over time, the core purpose of a CV remains the same. To present your skills and accomplishments in a way that resonates with your target audience.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to adapt your CV to the specific context that you're applying for.
Right.
Think about what's most relevant for that particular job or field and tailor your content accordingly.
It's like choosing the right tool from your toolbox for the task at hand.
Yeah.
Speaking of tools, the article then goes on to outline the key components of a modern CV. It lists 9 essential sections, starting with contact information.
Even something as seemingly simple as contact information has nuances.
Okay.
Nowadays, it's becoming increasingly important to include your LinkedIn profile. This allows potential employers to quickly check out your professional network and see recommendations from colleagues or past supervisors.
Got it. So make it easy for them to connect with you online.
Exactly.
Next up is the professional summary.
Okay.
To me, this seems like your elevator pitch, a brief but powerful statement that captures your career goals, top skills, and most notable achievements.
You're exactly right.
Okay.
The professional summary is your chance to grab the reader's attention and make them want to learn more.
Right.
Think of it as the opening paragraph of your professional story. It should be compelling, concise, and tailored to the specific roles you're applying for.
So no generic summaries.
No.
Make it relevant to the job you want.
Right.
The article then highlights work experience, which seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But what caught my eye was the emphasis on not just listing job titles and responsibilities, but really showcasing your achievements with quantifiable results.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
That's where many CVs fall short. Instead of simply stating managed social media accounts, you could say increase social media engagement by 25% in 6 months.
Right.
Those quantifiable results demonstrate impact and make your contributions much more tangible.
That's a great point. Instead of just saying what you did, show them how you made a difference.
Exactly.
I'm already starting to rethink how I present my own experiences.
Good.
Okay, moving on, the next section is education.
Right.
I'm guessing this is super important for those who are early in their careers or aiming for academic positions, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
In this section, you'd list your degrees, institutions attended graduation dates, and any relevant coursework. If you have a high GPA or any academic honors, this is the place to highlight them.
So don't be shy about showcasing your academic achievements.
Right.
After education, it's all about skills.
Okay.
The article suggests focusing on both hard and soft skills and tailoring them to the specific job description. What are your thoughts on this?
It's crucial to remember that applicant tracking systems, or ATS, are often used by companies to scan CVs for specific keywords.
Right.
By aligning your skills section with the language used in the job posting, you increase your chances of getting noticed.
Yeah.
It's like speaking their language.
Keywords are key.
Yes,
It's almost like you're optimizing your CV for search in a way.
exactly.
And speaking of optimization, next on the list is certifications and licenses.
Oh, okay.
I could see how this would be super important for certain professions.
Absolutely. Imagine you're a medical professional, a lawyer, or an engineer.
Right.
Your licenses and certifications are essential qualifications.
Yeah.
Highlighting them prominently showcases your credentials and professional standing right from the start.
So put those front and center if they're critical for the job.
Yes.
Okay, we've covered contact information, professional summary, work experience, education, and skills. Next, the article lists publications and research.
This section is particularly relevant for those in academia or research-oriented fields. It's your opportunity to showcase your contributions to knowledge creation and demonstrate your expertise in a particular subject area.
So it's not just about what you've learned, but also what you've contributed to the field.
Exactly.
Makes sense after publications and research comes awards and honors.
This is where you shine a light on any recognitions you've received that validate your expertise or accomplishments.
Okay.
It could be academic awards, scholarships, industry accolades, or even recognition for volunteer work.
So it's about showing them that others recognize your value and contributions.
Exactly.
Finally, we get to references.
Right.
The article suggests simply stating available upon request.
That's become the standard practice.
Okay.
It saves space on your CV and allows you to control when and to whom you provide references.
Right.
It also avoids any awkward situations where a potential employer might contact your references without your knowledge.
All right, so those are the 9 key components of a CV.
Yes.
We've laid the groundwork. But now I'm curious about the how-to part, actually crafting a CV that stands out. What are some of the key tips the article provides?
Let's dive into those next. We'll explore how to tailor your CV, make it visually appealing, and really highlight your achievements in a way that grabs attention.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the building blocks of a CV down, but now let's talk strategy.
Yeah, okay.
How do you actually make your CV stand out from the pile?
Yeah.
The article dives into some pro tips.
Right.
And the first one really caught my eye, especially for anyone aiming for international jobs. It's all about researching local preferences.
You're absolutely right. What works in one country might not fly in another.
Right.
For instance, the article mentioned that in the UK, photos on CVs are generally a no-no.
Yeah.
But in other countries like Germany, they might be expected.
Oh, wow.
It's fascinating how those cultural nuances play a role.
It's like a whole other layer of strategy.
Yeah.
So before you hit send, do your homework on what's expected in that specific job market.
Exactly.
The next pro tip is one I know I need to work on.
Okay.
Keeping your CV updated. Life happens, things change, and sometimes my CV ends up at the bottom of the to-do list.
It's easy to let it slide,
Yeah.
but keeping your CV updated is crucial.
Right.
Think about it. Your skills, your experiences and accomplishments are constantly evolving.
Yeah.
Your CV should reflect that growth.
Right.
The article recommends giving it a refresh at least once a year
Oh.
or after any major career milestones.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like making sure your online profiles are up to date.
Exactly.
You want to present the best and most current version of yourself.
Yep.
Speaking of things to avoid,
Okay.
the article also highlights some common CV mistakes that can really hurt your chances.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
These can be real deal breakers.
Right.
One of the biggest mistakes is including irrelevant information.
Okay.
Your CV should be laser focused on the targeted job, showcasing only the most pertinent details.
Yeah.
Remember, you're trying to tell a compelling story,
Mm-hmm.
and every detail should contribute to that narrative.
So no need to mention that summer job you had scooping ice cream if you're applying for a CEO position, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Another common pitfall is overloading the document with too much text.
Right.
Keep it concise and to the point using bullet points and clear language.
It's a CV, not a novel.
Right.
You want to make it easy for them to digest the information.
Exactly.
The article also warns against using unprofessional email addresses.
Oh, yeah.
I have to admit, I've seen some pretty cringeworthy ones out there.
It might seem obvious, but
Yeah.
you'd be surprised how many people still use email addresses from their teenage years on their CVs.
Oh, gosh.
Stick to a professional-sounding email address that ideally includes your name.
Solid advice. First impressions matter, even in the digital world.
Yes, they do.
And the final pro tip is all about embracing technology.
Okay.
The article mentions tools like Canva or Zeti for creating visually appealing CVs.
These tools can be game changers, especially for those of us who aren't design wizards.
Right.
They provide templates and resources that can really elevate the look and feel of your CV, making it more engaging and professional.
Yeah.
It's like having a personal design team at your fingertips.
I love that it's like those tools that help you build a website.
Yeah,
You don't need to be a coding expert to create something that looks polished and professional.
exactly.
Now let's shift gears and talk about different CV formats.
Right.
The article lists 4 main types: academic professional, Europass, and creative.
Each format serves a different purpose and caters to specific fields or career goals.
Right.
For example, an academic CV focuses heavily on education research and publications.
Okay.
It's like a scholar's portfolio showcasing their contributions to their field. This format is ideal for those pursuing academic positions or research-oriented roles.
So it's all about highlighting those academic credentials.
Yes,
Then there's the professional CV, which I'm guessing is more geared towards corporate roles.
exactly. The professional CV emphasizes work experience and skills,
Okay.
making it more suitable for positions in business, industry, or government. It's all about demonstrating your practical experience and how it aligns with the specific requirements of the job.
Got it. So tailor the format to the type of career you're pursuing.
Right.
What about the Europass CV?
Okay.
That one sounds intriguing.
The Europass CV is a standardized format that's widely used in Europe.
Okay.
It provides a structured framework for presenting your qualifications and skills in a way that's easily recognized across different European countries.
Uh-huh.
It's like a common language for CVs,
Right.
making it easier for employers to understand your background and experience.
So if you're targeting jobs in Europe, the Europass CV is a must-have.
Yes.
And finally, there's the creative CV.
All right.
This one seems like it would be perfect for those in fields where creativity is key, like design or marketing.
Absolutely. The creative CV allows for more, well, creativity in terms of design and presentation. It's a chance to showcase not only your skills and experience, but also your personality and creative flair.
Right.
Think infographics, visual timelines, or even incorporating elements of your personal brand.
It's like turning your CV into a work of art that reflects your unique style and skills.
Exactly.
I love that now the article wraps up with a frequently asked questions section,
Okay.
which I always find helpful.
Yeah.
The first question is about length.
Right.
How long should a CV actually be?
It's a common question, and the answer isn't always straightforward.
Yeah.
The article suggests that for most professionals, a typical length is 2 to 3 pages.
Okay.
However, for those in academia or research, it's not uncommon for CVs to be much longer,
Right.
sometimes even exceeding 10 pages.
So length can vary depending on your field and experience level.
Exactly.
The next question is one we touched on earlier.
Okay.
Should you include a photo on your CV?
As we discussed, this really depends on local norms and expectations. In some countries, it's standard practice, while in others, it's not recommended.
Right.
It's always best to do your research and see what's expected in the specific country or region where you're applying.
So another reminder to tailor your CV to the specific context.
Exactly.
The third question is about how often you should update your CV.
We talked about this earlier, but it's worth emphasizing again.
Right.
Regular updates are crucial to ensure your CV stays relevant and reflects your current skills and experience.
Right.
Think of it as an ongoing project, not a one-time task. The article suggests aiming for at least once a year or after any significant career milestones.
Got it. Keep it fresh. Keep it current.
Yes.
And finally, the FAQ section tackles the question of the best CV format.
Okay.
Which one should you choose?
The article highlights 3 main formats: reverse chronological, functional, and hybrid.
Okay.
The reverse chronological format is the most traditional and straightforward. It focuses on presenting your work experience in reverse chronological order, starting with your most recent role.
So it's like a timeline of your career, highlighting your progression over time.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then there's the functional format,
All right.
which emphasizes skills and abilities rather than a strict chronological order.
Right.
This format can be really helpful for those who have gaps in their employment history
Yeah.
or those who are looking to highlight transferable skills from different industries.
It's like saying, here's what I can do,
Yeah,
rather than, Here's where I've been.
Exactly.
What about the hybrid format?
The hybrid format, as the name suggests, combines elements of both the reverse chronological and functional formats.
Okay.
It offers more flexibility and allows you to showcase both your skills and experience in a way that's tailored to your specific needs.
So it's like choosing the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
This has been super helpful.
Good.
We've gone from the basics of what a CV is to all these strategic insights on how to create one that really stands out. But I'm curious about the bigger picture.
Okay.
What's the takeaway message the article leaves us with?
I think the most important takeaway is that your CV is more than just a document.
Yeah.
It's your professional story, a narrative that showcases your unique skills, experiences, and accomplishments.
Yeah.
And by crafting that story thoughtfully and strategically, you can position yourself for success in any job market.
All right, so we've covered a ton of ground on CVs, from the historical roots to the nitty-gritty details of formatting and content.
Yeah.
But I'm always curious about the bigger picture.
Right.
What's the key takeaway, the one thing that really sticks with you from this deep dive?
For me, it's the idea that your CV is so much more than just a list of jobs and dates. It's your professional story, a narrative that showcases your unique skills and experiences, and by crafting that story thoughtfully and strategically,
Right.
you can unlock some pretty amazing opportunities.
I love that it's almost like you're the author of your own career journey and your CV is your masterpiece.
Exactly. And just like any good story, your CV needs a compelling plot, engaging characters. That's you. And a clear message that resonates with your audience, potential employers.
So it's not just about what you've done, but how you present it.
Absolutely.
The article really emphasized the importance of tailoring your CV to each specific job you apply for. But honestly, that can feel overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah.
How do you even begin to tailor your CV when there are so many different jobs and industries out there?
It's all about understanding what each employer is looking for.
Okay.
And then highlighting the aspects of your experience that align with their needs. Start by carefully analyzing the job description.
Right.
What skills and qualities are they emphasizing?
Yeah.
What are the key responsibilities of the role? Then go through your own experience and identify examples that demonstrate those specific skills and qualities.
So it's like a matching game. You're connecting your skills and experiences to the requirements of the job.
Precisely. And don't be afraid to reframe your experiences to fit the context.
Okay.
For example, if you're applying for a leadership role, you might highlight a time when you took initiative, led a project, or mentored a colleague, even if those experiences weren't in a formal leadership position.
That's a great tip. Sometimes we have skills and experiences that are transferable,
Right.
but we don't always think to present them that way.
Exactly.
The article also talked about the importance of quantifying your achievements whenever possible.
Yeah.
But I can see how that might feel a little boastful or uncomfortable for some people.
Sure.
What's your advice on finding that balance?
It's a valid concern, but remember, you're not bragging, you're providing evidence. Numbers speak volumes.
Right.
And they help potential employers understand the impact you've made. Instead of simply saying, improved customer satisfaction, you could say, increased customer satisfaction ratings by 15% through implementing a new feedback system.
Okay.
Those specifics make your achievements much more tangible and credible.
So it's about backing up your claims with concrete evidence.
Exactly.
That makes sense. And finally, I want to touch on something that resonated with me from the article's conclusion. The idea that a well-crafted CV can open doors to opportunities you never thought possible.
I couldn't agree more. Your CV is often the first impression you make on a potential employer.
Right.
It's your chance to showcase your unique talents and make them eager to learn more about you.
Yeah.
A compelling CV can help you stand out from the crowd, land an interview, and ultimately secure a job that aligns with your passions and aspirations.
So it's worth investing the time and effort to create a CV that truly represents you and your potential. This has been such an insightful deep dive into the world of CVs.
That has.
We've explored everything from the historical origins to the strategic nuances of crafting a CV that stands out.
Right.
But I think the most important takeaway is this. Your CV is more than just a document. It's a reflection of your professional journey.
Yeah.
And by crafting it thoughtfully and strategically, you can shape your own future and create a career path that's both fulfilling and impactful.
Absolutely.
So as you embark on your own CV writing adventures, remember to tell your story with confidence, clarity, and a touch of creativity.
And don't forget to keep learning and growing.
That's great advice.
The job market is constantly evolving, so stay curious, stay adaptable, and never stop refining your CV to reflect your evolving skills and aspirations.
We'll leave you with that thought. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive in happy CV writing.